I feel like this was the wrong week to do this experiment, which is not healthy. It's not good for you. Past me is like future me will deal with it. You ever seen someone so dumb? Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am bringing you another writing experiment video, a 2-week one. So this was actually voted on by my patrons over at Patreon, and this topic won by what I would call a landslide. It crushed its opponent. So basically, as you've probably been able to tell by these writing vlogs before, my writing schedule is kind of not a schedule. I have certain times I like to do my best writing, so I usually get up in the morning and I start, and then my day just kind of devolves into whatever it's going to devolve into. I want to compare that with a typical 9 to 5. Now, not all 9 to 5s are typical. As someone who worked corporate and had more and more of their life taken up by their corporate job that was theoretically 9 to 5, I understand that. But for the sake of this experiment, I will start working at 9, finish at 5, and have about a 30-minute break where I can do anything. I'm mostly putting that in there because I'm gonna go and vote next week. But if I wanted to run and get lunch somewhere else instead of at home, that's my option. This also means that if I want to work at a coffee shop next week, I have to factor in that travel time as part of like the work day. Yeah. And now the whole point of this is to sort of track my productivity. Because I tend to start off so strong at the beginning of the day, it's toward the middle end of the day that my productivity really takes a nosedive. And sometimes getting myself back on track when there's no theoretical finish line is hard. Like today. Today is Sunday, and I'm working on Sunday. This is not something that if I had 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday, I would be doing. But that's exactly why I want to compare. Perhaps my natural way of writing, now that I've started working for myself, isn't actually the best way for me to be living and functioning. I would argue that even if the 9 to 5 thing works out, this probably isn't the best way. But all week I have been keeping track of my productivity. How many hours I've spent revising, or how many pages I've edited, how many words I've written, how many videos I have filmed and edited and produced out there. And I will be doing the same for next week. But I did want to show you today an example of a pretty full writing/business day. For instance, I have a Patreon live stream in about 11 minutes. I also received some additional tax information from Google for these YouTube videos this year, and I have some business emails to send. If you're wondering why are you doing that on Sunday, this kind of goes back to the whole weird ass routine thing. So without further ado, here's an example of a writing/work day. The first thing I'm gonna do, since I do still have like 11 minutes, is actually hook this up to the camera and transfer some of my files to iMovie so that I can begin the editing process. I like to edit in like waves. I actually filmed part of a work day earlier this week. Waiting for all that to load. We need this one and this one and this one. Import selected. But what happened is that I almost completely ended up spending the day filming and then didn't do a good rehash at the end. Already this experiment has been good for me to confirm that I do tend to like to work in chunks almost. So it's like, not that this day is my authortube day or that this day is like my freelance day, but also it's kind of sort of like that. And I had not realized that before. I always knew it felt like one day was more dominated by something, even sometimes just a particular project, but seeing the video proof and actually writing out what I got done each day, yes. So again, we'll see if that continues when I'm doing a 9 to 5. Oh, and I should also note now that I'm going to be doing from 9 to 5 anything that counts as business, theoretically makes me money. So that's going to include authortube stuff, it'll include the freelance stuff, and it's going to include my novels that I'm hoping will someday eventually make me money. Does that make sense? So that's the line that I'm drawing. I don't have a pen, but we'll pretend I've drawn it. And it is me, ready to enter the broadcast studio. Oh, I see Taylor. Yay, all right. Oh, it's showtime. And go live. Hello, everyone. Hi, Taylor. All right, we're on the 3rd sprint. There's 11 minutes left. Taylor knew it was adventure time. And I made something that looks like a snail. That's what my dad said, at least. Like a snail. Hello! Hello to the vlog! All right, and it's time to X out of that. As I told everyone on the live stream, I am now up 152 words. But to be fair, I had to delete like 400 or something because the scene before this was so bad. And it didn't fit the story anymore. So it's fixed now. Kind of. Hopefully. Gosh. I finished part of my cappuccino that I had to run and get during the middle of the live stream. And then at 11, what time is it now? 10. At 11, my brothers and I will be doing our podcast slash catch-up chat that we do every week now, or every other week. So I'm excited. Sunday's off to a great start. But honestly, look at all that might or might not work with what I added up here. And maybe we'll never show anyone else. Hello. And it is now 12:41 and we're done. Oh my goodness. The good bad thing. We can just chat for forever. Look at it go. All right, so I've mostly finished my food. I have all my stuff up off the floor because I want to film something hopefully later today. I have some nail polish that I'm gonna put on and change, and I have a little bit of a drink, and then at some point Becca actually messaged some of us and asked if we wanted to do like a 1 hour workathon sprint kind of thing with her. So she's already done hers. I'm behind, but I think I am gonna join her after that. So I'm gonna do it once my nails are done, and I'll just write for an hour and see how it goes. So let's do this. All right, so editing Kate here to tell you that I did a terrible job of vlogging the rest of that day, which is so funny because it feels fitting for even an example day to just slowly go off the rails for me. However, I did write it all down. I recorded everything that I did, but I'm gonna be mean and you are going to have to wait till the end of this video with me when I add up all the totals. So just so you know. I do want to also say that I attempted Becca's 1 hour like straight sprint, and I don't know if it was that day. I don't know if it's me, but it was hard. It was hard to do the 1 hour straight thing, and I'm gonna tell you guys an upcoming video that I'm gonna do where I picked 4 of my writer friends and I'm gonna try writing like them, and Becca's one of them, and I am scared. That is all. Okay, let me throw you in to the Monday through Friday 9 to 5. Let's frickin' do it! Good morning. It's just me and you, bubs. It's 6:49 on Monday morning. Duke, you wanna go outside? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Oh, hello, bird. Hello. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do between now and when I can start working at 9. Usually I would just start working now. Now I know lots of people have commutes, so it kind of adds on to the 9 to 5 where the amount of time you're spent not doing stuff for yourself, but rather in service or to get to the company starts way before 9. But I gotta waste some time, and I gotta waste some time on things that aren't any of my stories related. So what better of a time waster? And by that I just mean time user. I'm using time. I'm gonna read. I just finished chapter 3, I guess, of Miss Boerne. I'm so hyped. This is so good. It's just now 8, so I still have another hour to burn. I do have some stuff in my room I need to fix up for filming later, so I don't think that should count as part of work. I'm just gonna go do it. This is the hard part about working for yourself sometimes. It's like everything is kind of work and kind of not work, at least when filming's involved. Also, Duke is being just the cutest pupper ever. While I attempt to fix all of this so I can get ready for what I'm filming today, I'm actually going to listen to the Self-Publishing Show podcast. Let's do it.
On this edition of the Self-Publishing Show.
I had started a book and put it aside and then lost it because my computer crashed.
All right, I got it mostly clean and ready. Don't look. Ready for the video I'm gonna film today. And now, you're not gonna be able to read that. There's only 5 minutes until it's 9 a.m. So, this is a weird feeling. I've been kind of productive this morning, but also like, I've been up for a while. I feel great though. Like, this is a good start to the day. I just don't know how long I'm gonna maintain that and if I can do it till 5, especially since I like my nap time at 2. But, time to get ready. I'm gonna go to the standing desk so that Duke can be with me. My cappuccino, which I made way earlier, is not done yet. Let's go. Hi, bud. You gonna come right with me? You can see I had my filming schedule up last. All right, I think y'all will forgive me the 3 minutes if I start now. Aww. Good job, buddy. I finished a chapter already, revision work. I had to rewrite the scene a little bit, so I'm up by 111 words. As someone who always has to add more words in revision, this works really well for me. In fact, if I could add more words, that would probably be better, but we'll find out what needs to be done at the next revision, truthfully. Also, this dog is so happy. I've now added 343 words because your girl forgot that she never did write this scene because I'm an idiot. I recognize that this is just how I write, where I like to skip scenes, but what happens is that past me is like future me will deal with it. But then future me thinks that past me did it because I at least thought over the scene before. Unless I have all the brackets and like put it in bold that I haven't filled it in, it's not until I reread that I'm like, you didn't do it. But, let me say it one more time, but this is actually really good because I'm getting more words in. Let's get back to writing. It is only 9:52. I mean, if all days like this, it's gonna be a great day. Bring it back. All right, at 536 words added, I have decided to take a quick break to sort out my glasses situation. This has actually been such a fun way to do it. I didn't know anything about most of these. I've had the same glasses since high school. The prescription's not like the most up to date, but it hasn't been the worst, and I often wear contacts. But now I'm gonna be able to see perfectly with my glasses. And place order, yay! Now I just have to package all of these back up and ship it out. And my 30-minute break starts now. No, faded the R2. Hopefully this will be enough time. You can see the flags. It's time to vote. Haha. Hi. You happy I'm home? Hello. For the record, it is now 11:34, so I did not make it in time, but I did vote, so yay. And now it is time to film a video for today. Woo! This one might actually take a while because I'm having to go through all of my books is the plan. Really, to get rid of those books and then also go through the clothes, so let's set you up on this guy. Oh, that's not gonna work for the actual video. But as that video should be up before this one, I'll just flash a little bit on the screen. Then I'm putting too much pressure on it and however, things haven't been all bad. Oh, all right, I finished cleaning all my stuff out almost. Like it's done. That was a long video because I had to do all of this while talking about it. So, whoa. Because ideally I could get this uploaded by tomorrow, like afternoon-ish, I do need to edit and see what I need to do. Also because I need to go and donate the clothes and stuff. So let's do a little bit of video editing. What time is it now? Y'all really can't see the background on that. It's 2:44. Still 2.5 hours almost of work I can do, for the record. The pup's straight chilling still. "11 minutes and 29 seconds, and it is 3:49. First round of edits is done, and I still have an hour and 10 minutes, so I think I'm actually gonna write. We're switching back to writing. I am going to sit on the couch though, because I'm tired of standing, and the little button might like it better. Next to Miss Boerne, which I will do my best not to read. And that is 5 p.m. File, save, and clothes. So then the rest of the evening I decided not to film because of course I was supposed to have a hard cutoff at 5. This goes back to, however, the fact that I did start filming before 9 to give like the full experience, which is something that I struggled with throughout this video and actually outright mentioned at different points, which is figuring out what is work and isn't work, especially when the video itself is involved. I do not have an answer still. That's why I started doing the I tried writing like experiments 2 days, one so that I could film it and one so that I could just experience it for myself. Is there a solution? Is there not? Who knows? But this is what I spent the rest of my day doing, just playing with my dog who never learned how to properly catch anything. All right, day 3 of the experiment, or at least the 9 to 5 portion of it. And we'll talk about what happened Tuesday toward the end of the video. Today I'm actually co-hosting a live write-in with Becca over on her channel from 3 to 5. She was nice enough to put that sort of time period in so that it was during my work day. And I think that's gonna be so much fun. I have already finished my cappuccino today and I just laid in bed and read before work started because I couldn't think of anything else to do that was not work. Yeah. For my YouTube schedule, I actually need to read my co-written project with my friend and then edit parts of this video so that I will be able to like get it all up when it's, you know, kind of ready. And the rereading of the co-written project is interesting because I'm trying to classify that as work, but then which it is, like it's something we want to publish and that theoretically might be pretty close to querying. Maybe? And by pretty close, I mean like within the next year. Pretty close is kind of like a loose term. So then that's work, even though you could do that outside of work. And then like today, the spring cleaning existential crisis video went up at 6:45 a.m. And I always try and watch that video one more time through when it's up on YouTube. Would that be considered work? And then I was responding to comments because that's important to do, not just because it's my favorite thing to do, but also like engagement and all that stuff. If you're gonna make it sound more than it is or sound exactly like it is. It's very confusing. And then I was posting on social media. Does that count? What is the definition of work? I didn't think about that when I was initially making this video, but now I'm thinking about it more and I don't know how to feel. Yes, but let's go back to what all is on the to-do list today. All right, so this first little section here is me just kind of brain dumping what I think I need to do for the day and like any tangents on those thoughts. And then I set up goals. Now, the way I've been doing it recently, because I basically have no structure and just do what I want, is that if I can get to half of these things on the list, I'm doing good. And it's kind of bullet journal-y, and that I'll notice if like the next time I'm doing this and the same stuff's on the list, I'm still not doing it. It's kind of a cue-in. So I'd like to revise 2 scenes in the romance novella. I want to draft a Bumble thing. I need to research medium number 2 and fill in parts of it. I want to script a Camp NaNoWriMo video. I need to edit this video at least a little bit. And then I want to film the rereads and reread. Obviously. The question comes down to what do I want to start with first? I think I'm just going to actually draft some things. So both the Bumble thing and the Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm in like a little drafty mood. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Yay! Done. Now to start a new file over here. Yay! Hit 425 words. That's pretty good for basically just like a brain dump of a first draft of something. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit off from my list today. And done. It is now only 10:15. I did put in my contacts and I'm about to fix up my hair. I'm debating filming the Camp NaNoWriMo video today. Oh, that framing is not gonna work. As both my phone and my computer are restarting with updates, I figured I would film Camp NaNoWriMo. I don't know that this lighting works either. And that's it. That's basically my 5-step prep plan. All right, 10 minutes and 10 seconds. And I finished that. Woo. My computer is slowly charging. It is now 11:01. I'm going to set all of this up and start at least uploading for Camp Nano. And while I'm waiting for my camera to load up all of these files, it's still working. I'm gonna see if I can find Project Purple because it wasn't in this area like I thought. So... oh, okay. Ta-da! So I think I'm actually going to edit the first round of this video. I don't know why, especially for sit down ones, I like to do the first round of edits really quick. I think kind of just to dismiss it from my mind and to make sure that I got everything I needed while I'm still wearing the same clothes. Like vlogs, it matters way less. And because, as Brooke accuses me of, I always mess with my hair. So this way it's like not as jarring if I do have to fix something. Then, now that I finally found this, which took way longer than I thought, I'm gonna read it. This is the wrong one. You ever seen someone so dumb? This is Project Purple. It's pink, it's fine, but my best friend and co-writer's favorite color is pink, and I think hers is pink. So I thought that this was our project, but no, it's our co-written one's fine. God, now I gotta go find that. I think it might be in the same place. Anyways, before I do that, I'm gonna edit this effing video. I do feel like I'm a little bit more on the clock than when I'm just working by myself, because when I'm working on my own normal schedule, I can theoretically work till whenever. So if I don't get something done, I don't feel like this time pressure that I have to do it by. Whereas here, I'm like, I want to take my 30-minute break to go on a walk outside later. And then I'm thinking, okay, from 3 to 5, I'm going to be writing with Becca. I'm just mentally calculating the time. And I'm just like, how am I going to fill this 3 hours and 20 minutes? Like, am I going to be able to get everything done today that I wanted to do? Anyways, a realization. Let's edit this. Yeah, let's do it. First thing we gotta do is drag and drop. And I like to look at it like this, and I always know I can take off this first bit. All right, let's get to it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon with the new video. Bye! Oh, yay! Oh, okay, I can pose for a picture since I actually remembered to do that. So the first round is basically done, and it is 11:25 a.m. So let's see, I'm actually going to just take out that part. I'll see if I can find a thumbnail now. The posing for the thumbnail is just me pausing on different spots. Why is my mouth so big? Okay, capture. Finally for you guys. Yay! Delete. Okay, so I'm sitting at, I don't know, maybe like a 4-minute video. And it took me 10 minutes to film all of it. So there you go. There's that. I feel like that's a fitting ratio. And it took me, what time did I start? It's 11:26 now. So I'll see if I can figure out the math on that later. I don't want to do it right now. But for at least these like really easy, chatty, just to the camera ones, oh, so much easier to film and edit. Doesn't take any time. I should do more of those, honestly. I found it, the actual copy, which I did write in. That's what I thought I remembered. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Huge timeline issue. The confrontation we needed. I have a day to read this book. The dreaded continuity error. I'm on chapter 4 now. I'm trying to decide, since it's 2:27 right now, and Becca and I's live stream is at 3, what I should do during the live stream to work. I do have some actual work emails I need to get to, so I know I need to do that. But also, this has a timetable. I have to be done with it by Saturday, and today's Wednesday. I feel like this was the wrong week to do this experiment. Any week would have been the wrong week to do it, but this is why I need to do it. So what do I work on? Emails, a little bit of the reading. And I think since I read 2 scenes of the novella, I'd be able to revise at least one of them. Okay, that's the goal for the sprint. Which means that though I wrote it on my goals for the day, I did not get to the editing of the 9 to 5 or researching for medium number 2. That's not bad. I've done worse before. Alrighty, we're almost done with sprint 2. I finished editing this, and the first one, I'll actually flash you back to how I did, but yay!
How'd you do? What'd you end up working on? I got 2 businessy things done. I got 1 email sent out. I got 1 thing taken care of for Patreon. And then I moved over to the rereads.
And I am done for the day. All right, it is time. Look at my very messy handwriting trying to record this every day. I have not yet added up the total, so we're about to see all of this together. It's interesting because just looking over the numbers, even the video somehow feels like it's not a good representation, because what ends up happening is that, again, I do things in chunks. So the days where I was like, okay, I'm gonna film the experiment today, what happened is that I filmed more for other stuff too. There's something about having the camera and doing that I'm like, yeah, okay. But when I want to write, I just don't pick up the camera, especially for these longer form experiments where I'm like, I have touched the camera so much, I just don't want to touch it today, I just want to write. So then what happens is that you see a lot more video stuff than you actually see writing stuff, even though, again, the numbers don't necessarily reflect that. Just an interesting note for me, probably not as interesting for y'all, but I'm over here like, wow, so much of this is making more sense to me now. Okay, let's see if I can read my own massive handwriting and add all of this up, and I will give you some more caveats. Yes, so many caveats. Let us bring it down. All right, the math is done. So, couple things before we dive into this experiment that, like, my friend's totally gonna get on me for because it's not a valid experiment at all. It's fine. So during my 9-to-5 work week on Tuesday, I actually ended up counting this as a scratch day, basically. I managed to get 400 draft words that day, but then in the course of filming the video, I needed to drive into San Antonio. And even though it was for a video, I really just could not justify it in my heart of hearts. So instead, I gave myself the 400 words. I actually ended up working that night because apparently I'm a workaholic, and I just decided that that day was a scratch day and the rest of the stuff should not count. Yes. Then of course the other thing to note is that I had all of the rereads on the last 3 days of the 9-to-5 experiment. That made things a little bit more of a mess because how do you count that? That is the beginning stage of revision. But the way that I had been counting revision was basically like by scene I revised, and yet that revision's a little bit more in depth than just the reading revision. So anyways, that's why my friend's totally getting on me. This is not a valid experiment, but so per day for the experiment, for the creation of the videos, I lumped together the filming, the editing, and the like uploading, 0.71 video per day, which doesn't totally make sense, but that's what I managed to do apparently. And then 1.25 for the 9-to-5 experiment. This is because I'm including live streams, even if they're not on my channel, in with this video. So yeah, this is, oh gosh. Anyways, whatever, that one doesn't matter as much in the grand scheme of things. For editing, and this lumps in all of my writing edits, so closer to line by line edits, let's imagine, or edits when I'm getting ready to send something off for my freelance stuff. I got 0.28 per day edits during my normal writing routine and 1 per day during my 9-to-5 experiment. Just because that's what my schedule worked out to be. For revision, 1.14 in my normal routine and 1.25 in the 9-to-5 experiment. And then for drafting, I got 814 words per day during my normal writing routine and only 150 during the 9-to-5. In conclusion, this was not the right way to do this. Anyways, so what did I learn from this? Because clearly the actual like data points weren't as helpful as I had hoped. And all of that came down to the fact that the actual work was so all over the place. How do you compare the amount of time it takes me to reread something thoroughly, in depth, making all those revision notes with the actual drafting of other stuff, whether that's first draft or second draft kind of thing for me? How do you compare those? One takes me less time. It takes me much less time to draft something than it does to like thoroughly reread and nitpick problems. I don't know. I don't know how I would have to do this experiment to make this make sense, and I'm so sorry. What it did show me though, because what are these experiments if not just me teaching myself lessons, is that I don't like working 9-to-5. However, I do like not constantly being on and constantly working. There was something very nice and satisfying about forcing myself to say, after 5, you are done, which I only actually did 3 of the 5 days during my 9-to-5 experiment. So I actually failed almost half of the days. I just kept working because I needed to get stuff done. There truly was something freeing about being like, no, you're not allowed to work. Because there's always some part of my brain, my little lizard brain, that tells me when I'm doing other stuff that I could be working then. Which is not healthy. It's not good for you. But it's also one of the things I love. I travel with my computer, I'm at my friend's place, and I can write and I can do all of the work that I need to do here. And while here, once she's home from her 9-to-5, I've actually been kind of turning off. I'll do a little bit of stuff in my room later, but for the most part, this is my work time, you know? And again, there's something so nice and freeing about letting my own mind just be like, no, take the break. This is what you need. The real question is, how do I incorporate that? But please do comment down below. Let me know if you think I went wrong somewhere in this experiment. Let me know if you're someone who does creative work alongside maybe a more typical job, if you notice differences in the way you work. Let me know how your routine affects your writing or your productivity. I genuinely did not like having to wait till 9 to do stuff. Even though I started doing more housework and like getting my space figured out better, yeah, I just wanted to write at 6 when I got up. I just wanted to like, that's prime drafting time. So anyways, that confirmed that at least. Wow. This has been all over the place. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to my patrons for choosing this. I feel like I took away a lot of lessons, and I feel like this is going to be something that I'm going to continue to think over more so than any other experiment I've done. Yeah, thanks again, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye. I have to sneeze again. One, I always, what? What is that hair doing? Welcome to my behind the scenes. Not that exciting. All right. I really don't like this lighting though. What if I turn that off?